Hello, I'd like to speak a little more freely about new literacies and how we are implementing them as teachers. We read several articles and chapters in our textbook this semester that discussed points about this. So if we look at the first article, TPAC, and that is by Harris, Mishra, and Kaler. Basically, they see a mismatch between what researchers are recommending we use or we do with technology in the classroom and also what teachers are currently doing. So they say that researchers emphasize technology uses that support inquiry, collaboration, and reformed practice, whereas many teachers are tending to focus on using presentation software and learner-friendly websites and management tools to enhance existing practice. So again, what this means, our new definition of literacy that includes these new literacy skills, it means that we need to make a shift as teachers to using technology to incorporate all of these new skills and strategies of inquiry and collaboration, participation, and deciphering images. Further on with deciphering images, if we look at chapter 12 by Vasquez, Harst, and Albers, that's called From the Personal to the World Wide Web. It talks a lot about critical literacy and what it means to be a critical reader. And coming from the perspective that we know everything that we come in contact with is not neutral, whether it's an image, whether it's an article, that whoever created that comes from an ideological perspective or has a position that they're trying to share with the world. So being critical and being able to decipher these explicit and implicit messages. This is also part of new literacy and what we need to teach our students. Then finally, I would like to talk about Dr. James Gee. In chapter 8 of our textbook, he talks about that decoding and literal comprehension are only a portion of good reading, and that literacy is evolving and changing as we previously discussed. But I'd like to quote what he says on page 166. He says, "Traditional psychology saw readers and writers as engaging in mental processes like decoding, retrieving information, comprehension, inferencing, and so forth. The new literacy studies saw readers and writers as being engaged in social and cultural practices." So this is perhaps, it's an eloquent way of describing this shift that new literacies are bringing to how we view ourselves as readers, as being literate. That it is not a process, but it's a practice. And that it's collaborative in nature, and practice implies it's a lifestyle, and that it's